All right, White's faithful, gather round because your club is under the microscope like never before. The atmosphere at Elland Road is absolutely electric right now. But not necessarily for the reasons we want, is it? After that brilliant comeback against Wolves that had us all singing in the streets, thinking maybe, just maybe, we've cracked the Premier League code. Boom! 3 massive stories have just dropped that could completely change everything we thought we knew about this season. Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you involves your summer signing who's driving Daniel Farke absolutely mental, a pundit who thinks our own fans might be our biggest enemy, and a transfer target who could be the missing piece to our survival puzzle. But there's a massive twist that nobody saw coming. I'm telling you right now, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and tell me in the comments, are you ready for what's about to unfold? Because these 3 stories are connected in ways that will blow your mind, and by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why January could make or break our Premier League dreams. The first bombshell. It's about our £18 million man who's got the boss seeing red despite scoring goals. Noah Okafor, remember that name because it's causing serious headaches at Thorpe Arch right now. You thought scoring against Wolves would shut up the critics. Think again, Whites. Our own gaffer has just delivered a public dressing down that's got everyone talking. Daniel Farke didn't hold back one bit when he basically told the media that our Swiss international isn't cutting it where it matters most. With his back to goal, he has to be a bit stronger. His success rate in his dribbling has to be better, Farke declared. And mate, when your manager is saying this stuff in public, you know there's serious business going down behind closed doors. But here's the kicker. Okafor lost possession 22 times against Wolves. 22. That's almost once every 3 minutes he was on the pitch. Sure, he scored, and yes, he attempted 14 dribbles though only succeeded in 6. But Farke isn't having any of it. He must keep the ball better. Needs to find better times to take risks. This is our £13 million signing, potentially rising to £18 million with add-ons. Getting called out by his own manager after scoring his first goal for the club. The pressure at Elland Road is real, and if Okafor doesn't sort out his decision-making quickly, we could be looking at another expensive mistake in a long line of them. And here's what's absolutely mental. This isn't just about one bad performance. The lad's got 24 caps for Switzerland. He's supposed to be this quick, agile, versatile forward who can play left wing, attacking midfield, or striker. At just 25, he should be entering his prime years. But those old questions about his end product and decision-making that haunted him at previous clubs, they're following him to Yorkshire like a bad smell. We need him to be the difference between staying up and going down, but right now, he's looking more like part of the problem than the solution. The fact that Farke's benching Brendan Aronson to accommodate him makes this situation even more pressurized. But wait, because the second story reveals why our home crowd might actually be making things worse for players like Okafor. Paul Merson has just dropped an absolute bombshell. That's got every white across the globe questioning everything. The Sky Sports pundit didn't mince his words when he identified the one thing that could destroy our chances against Bournemouth this weekend, and it's not what you think. It's not Dominic Calvert-Lewin's form. It's not our defensive injuries. It's not even the fact that Bournemouth are sitting pretty in 4th place. It's US. It's the fans. The problem for Leeds here is that their fans will turn up for this game in the hope that they will take the game to Bournemouth, Merson said. And you can almost feel the tension building at Elland Road already. If Leeds show respect to their opponents and keep things tight at the back, they may have a chance. Think about it. Every single one of us will be expecting Farke's boys to go out there and dominate, especially after that incredible comeback at Molineux. But Merson's basically saying our expectations, our passion, our desperate need to see attacking football could be the very thing that pushes the team into making the mistakes that cost us points. And here's what makes this even more terrifying. Bournemouth have been absolutely incredible this season. Merson called them incredible despite being a small club. And get this, they sold 3 of their best players last season to Liverpool, Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. And yet, it's like nothing even changed. The Cherries have conceded just 1 goal since that opening day defeat at Liverpool. 1. While we're here worrying about Okafor losing the ball 22 times in a single match. But think about the psychology here, Whites. When Calvert-Lewin gets on the ball, when Brendan Aronson is trying to create something, when our boys are pushing forward, are we creating an atmosphere that says go for it? When maybe they should be thinking keep it tight. The man's got a point. We haven't had consecutive Premier League wins in ages. And now Merson's basically saying our own passion for the beautiful game could be sabotaging our survival chances. It's mental, but it makes you think, are we our own worst enemies at Elland Road? The irony is killing me. The very thing that makes us special as supporters might be the thing that sends us down. But the third story, that's where everything gets really interesting, because it involves a player who could solve all our problems. Rafael Onyedika, this is the name that could change everything for Leeds United come January. Remember all those rumors in the summer? West Ham leading the race, Eintracht Frankfurt making late bids, Fenerbahce getting knocked back. Well, guess what's just been confirmed by Belgian outlet GVA? We were right there in the mix. And now the door might be wide open. Here's the absolute madness of it all. While we're sitting here watching Anton Stach struggle with his passing accuracy 77% compared to Onyedika's incredible 91%, and seeing our midfield get exposed every single week. This Nigerian international has been tearing up the Belgian league like it's nobody's business. The stats don't lie, White's faithful. Onyedika, 36.3 passes per game at 91% accuracy. Stach, 29.6 passes per game at just 77% accuracy. And here's the kicker. GVA reports that his performance levels have increased since the summer. The very window when we couldn't get him, he's gotten even better. They're saying if he keeps up this rate, Club Brugge won't be able to keep him past January. But wait, there's a twist that connects all these stories together. Managing director Robbie Evans recently said Leeds want to avoid January if possible, because they prefer doing business early. But here's the reality check. With Okafor struggling to keep possession, our fans potentially creating pressure that works against us, and a midfielder of Onyedika's quality potentially available, can we really afford to stick to that plan? Get this, the lad's got 16 caps for Nigeria. He's been linked with top clubs across Europe, and he's showing the exact qualities we're missing. While our current midfield is getting overrun, Onyedika's making 1.7 tackles per game for 0.9 recoveries. And that passing accuracy is exactly what we need to control games. Instead of relying on individual brilliance, Frankfurt turned their attention elsewhere at the last minute in summer, which means the path could be clearer for us now. The question is, will we have the bottle to admit we need him? Because with Ethan Ampadu and Autanaka both dealing with injury spells recently, our midfield depth is paper thin when it matters most. The brutal truth is this: if we don't address these issues, Okafor's ball retention, the pressure our expectations create, and our midfield's inability to control games, we could be looking at a long, painful relegation battle. But if we can get Onyedika in January, fix Okafor's decision-making, and learn to manage the pressure at Elland Road, we might just have the pieces to stay up. So Whites, here's my question for you. Are we brave enough to admit these problems exist? Or are we going to pretend everything's fine until it's too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that subscribe button if you want the real truth about what's happening at our club. And let me know, should we break our January transfer policy to get Onyedika? Or trust that Fark can fix these issues with what he's got? Because one thing's for certain, the next few months will define whether we're Premier League survivors or championship returnees. And after these 3 bombshells, I'm not sure which way it's going to go. What do you think, Whites? Are we strong enough to handle the truth?